This is WFO Radio.
It seems to me, relatively recently, every time you get out of the car, you've got something really positive to say about the military. Is there a story or something that happened to you that all of a sudden this is of paramount importance to you?
I just got to wake up. You know, maybe I lived in the clouds my whole life, that nothing ever happens, and life is good. And yeah, you read in the paper that a kid died in the military, you know, in the war, and it never hit home to me. And then when we lost Eric Medlin, and I know the pain that his dad, John Medlin's a great man, and the pain that his dad went through, I couldn't imagine it. I don't know if I could have handled it, if it would have been my child. It was hard enough being Eric because we were buddies, you know, and he raced for me, and he was a great kid that loved our sport. But it was a wake-up, and then I got hurt a few months later. And I think it was when I come out of the hospital after being in for a month and a half, and I went into rehab, and I started watching the news. I am a guy that never watched the news. I never knew what was going on. And maybe I watch too much of it now. But I started realizing
Me too.
The numbers, the losses of our children, our kids that we're losing, the men and women in the service, and I started looking at how they sacrifice, and then their parents at home that sacrifice, or the wives or the husbands at home that are waiting, and the children. If nothing else, I see the Schumacher kid out there with the Army car. You know, I root, you know, for Schumacher's team because of the Army. They're my competition. But I root for the kid with that dragster because of what he does for the military, for the Army, and that's important to me. I wish I could do more. In fact, I've told them when they want to send me overseas, load me up and ship me over. Let me go over and do something where I can do some help or make somebody happy. I can't sing, I can't dance, but I can tell them some big old stories and what we're doing over here, but mainly to tell them that we care, because we take it for granted, and I don't want to take it for granted. You know, I've got a new corporation that I'm starting in Indy for selling motor parts and things that I do, and I'm calling it Force American Made, because we got to get back to our roots. We got to start building in America. That's what's wrong with America. We farmed everything out of the country. We got to get back to basics, built by an American for an American. I'm starting to sound corny, but I love what I do, but I do love, you know, the United States of America. It is what we're all about in the American flag, and maybe I took it for granted too. I don't want to. So I don't want to anymore. If I ever did, I want to just keep preaching the gospel. So God bless the kids in our armed services.